Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael of the tribe of Dan of the nation of Israel. This particular teaching, brothers and sisters, is not going to be a long one, but it's going to be one that is, you might say, a little intense because of the level of where we are as far as the classes are going in this concern. All right, for those who are joining on for the first time, please bear with us, brothers and sisters. If you need basic beginner's Hebrew, it is still available. All right, for those who want it on the same particular channel. Okay. Shalom, shalom. Can I be heard? Shalom, shalom. Can I be heard? Okay, thank you. I don't know what happened earlier to the people. I don't know what happened earlier to myself. You understand? But we're going to move on, giving honor and praise to the creator and maker of heaven and earth. I don't know earlier if that was a glitch or something like that, or something I had to do, but live and learn. All right. So with that, we're going to go on. Okay. Given on a human level, Shuvadia Yehuda, as well as Mika, thank you for joining on in this. This is Hebrew identification, how to know a verb. And what we're going to be dealing with, brothers and sisters, all right, is Judges chapter 3 for edification purposes, okay? So let's go on for edification purposes. Here is what we read, all right? Judges chapter 3, verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many as had not known all the wars of Canaan. Now, brothers and sisters, the Canaanites were in the land of Canaan before the children of Israel got to be, brothers and sisters, where that same particular land was. On the video, all right, the Israelites and the Romans part 1, which is on the channel Mora Yeshaya Torah Lessons, I actually showed a map of this particular landmass that we're speaking of and so forth. Nonetheless, brothers and sisters, this particular lesson is more so geared to the linguistics aspect of a matter. Okay, so let us go, brothers and sisters, and show that this is color coded. Now, these are the nations which the Lord left. Let's stop right there when it says left. All right, the Hebrew says, We'ele hagoyim. And these are, now, brothers and sisters, A-R-E, okay, as well as is, as well as a, are understood in Hebrew. There is no set word, brothers and sisters, in Hebrew for are, such as A-R-E. Okay, now the Hebrew word for our, such as what shows possession, is the word lanu. Okay, but that's another subject. I just want to show the difference between our and are. Okay, they are, you just say it in Hebrew as they. You understand in that particular case, which is the word ham. So now getting back into this, right? It says what? We'ele, and these are Hagoyim, the nations. Now, a lot of times people will say Goyim, meaning Gentiles. That's just a play you might say on the English understanding. Okay, to a certain great extent. Now let's go on. Okay. We'ele Hagoyim Ashel Hiniak Yodhe. The word Hiniak is what we want to focus on right here. Hiniak from the word nuak, meaning to rest. Thus we see the hey, as we see right there. I want to show this, brothers and sisters, with the laser point aspect. This right here is the letter hey, and we're going to circle this, all right, for edification purposes. Or square it, if that makes sense. All right, what you just shown, or what was just shown right there, brothers and sisters, is the letter hey itself, and it makes the ha or the H sound. Okay, serving as a prefix. The hey shows it is the he feel stem, the causative of the qual stem. Now, brothers and sisters, there are 7 stems in Hebrew, and what we're going to be dealing with in this particular case, brothers and sisters, is in regards to identifying a verb. All right. Now, Hebrew identification and how to know a verb is by understanding, and I want to put this inside of the chat, brothers and sisters. Lesson 6 is very important on this channel. Watch lesson 6, because in that video, which is about the prefixes and the suffixes, you will get a very detailed understanding on the same channel about what are the prefixes and the suffixes. Hey, brothers and sisters, serves as both a prefix and a suffix. However, in this letter, pardon me, in this word here, hiniak, it just serves, brothers and sisters, as a prefix. Okay, now the word nuak, brothers and sisters, is where you get the term noak, which is transliterated into English as the word Noah. All right, so we just want to point that out for reason and purposes. Hiniak from the word nuak, meaning to rest. Thus we see the hey, as we see right here, serving as a prefix. The hey shows it is the hifil stem, the causative of the qual stem. Okay, so now, brothers and sisters, in this particular regard, let's go back to the pen right here and show it inside the actual part where that prefix is. That prefix right there, brothers and sisters, is with the letter hey itself. All right, so we can begin to see what we're talking about. I want to highlight that actually. I will highlight this. I guess the yellow will do. All right. Now, if you were to drop off, brothers and sisters, that hey, you would get, just as you see there, the noon, the yod, and the niket. Now, I want to highlight this too, because for those who have purchased the book that will be suggested later, you will understand why this is like so. When you have, brothers and sisters, the patak, all right, underneath the hey, pardon me, underneath the ket, and it's at the end of the word, you make the sound of the ah first. So that's hiniak, not, brothers and sisters, hinika. This is where you get the understanding like the word ruach. This is where you get the understanding, brothers and sisters, tapuak, mateak, luak, so forth and so on. All right, which is also shown in lesson number 6. So I advertise, brothers and sisters, that lesson for edification purposes. When this is uploaded, I'm going to put lesson number 6 as far as the video to the link. I'm going to put the link in this video when it's uploaded. All right, so let's go on. Hiniak from the word nuak, meaning to rest. Thus we see the hey, as we see here, serving as a prefix. The hey shows it is the he-filled stem, the causative of the qual stem. Now, the he-filled stem is generally treated as the 5th stem of the 7 stems. There are 7 verb stems in Hebrew, all right? In the Hebrew lessons that we've gone over, from lesson number 1 to lesson number 52 or 53, we went all over the 7 stems, from the qual to the nephal to the pl to the pu'al to the hifil, which we're just currently discussing, to the hof'al, which is the passive of the hifil, and the hipa'el, which is generally treated as the reflexive. So this, brothers and sisters, is what that's talking about for reason and purposes. All right. The next we got what? The hey shows it is the he-filled stem, the causative of the qual stem. The qual stem is generally treated as what is called easy or light, L-I-T-E, but not the light, all right? Not light as in the word or, all right? But brothers and sisters, the word light as if it's easy. That's what the word qual is, all right? The hif-il, brothers and sisters, you have it too, as we see here, is the causative of the qual. Okay, so now let's go on. Lanasot bam et Israel et kal asher lo yadu et kol milchamot Canaan. Let's go on to the next part so we can sit there and explain these next particular verbs. Okay, yadu and lanasot. What we're going to deal with, brothers and sisters, all right, is this particular part here on the right side first. Now, lenasot, we see that particular word, all right? Lenasot, we see that right here, shown in this particular regard, right? Now, brothers and sisters, we have lenasot. the lamed, which is highlighted there inside of the light blue. The lamed shows the verb is in the infinitive to whatever the verb following is. So lenasot, brothers and sisters, it comes from the word nasa, which means to test. Okay? The word nasa in this particular case means to test. All right? Nasa is a lamed hey verb, meaning the hey drops in the past tense and the infinitive. Now, the infinitive, brothers and sisters, in Hebrew is generally treated by Hebrew scholars by what they refer to as the bakalam. All right, the bakalam is when the B or the bet letter I want to emphasize on, all right, means in or with. The K or the kaf in that particular regard, right? The K sound in, actually, let me spell it like this. Ba, ka, lam, not B-A-C-A. Let me spell it as B-A-K-A. Ba means in or with. Ka means like or as. La means to or for. And the M signifies of or from. So they refer to this particular aspect in the infinitive in Hebrew. You may want to write this down in your notes, brothers and sisters. They refer to that as part of the bakalam aspect. Now, what happens, brothers and sisters, in that particular regard, right? In dealing with the bakalam, we see right here, this is the lamed aspect of it. So it means, brothers and sisters, what? To or for. So now let's look at that. Nasot. Remember, we're saying that this is a lamed hey verb. So now let's understand how this word will look in its absolute infinitive sense. All right? Noon, samek, and hey. All right? Nasa. That means, as we was going over, brothers and sisters, means to test. So I want to emphasize on something, and that's the actual root of such. So if we look, brothers and sisters, at this particular case here, and let's show this. I'm going to square this off. This letter here, the hey, which we want to highlight. All right. Ah, that part didn't work. Let me not even try to do that. This letter here, brothers and sisters, the letter hey. All right. That, brothers and sisters, signifies it as a lamed hey verb. Any verb that has a hey as its last root letter is treated as a lamed hey verb. When you're dealing with this particular aspect and conjugate it within the past tense, it drops off in its past tense. So nasa, okay, means to test. So the way to say I tested will be nasiti, nasita, nasit, nasa, nasta, nasinu, nasitem, nasiten, nasu. That's how that will work within the past tense. And we're going to go over that, brothers and sisters. And I want to make a lesson of this particular words that we're dealing with, just Judges chapter 3, verse 1. But that will be in the next lesson when I'm back in New York, because I'm currently in North Carolina. But when I get back into New York, what I'm going to do is take this same lesson, brothers and sisters, and show how the verbs work in this particular case in a better aspect, or in a more direct aspect, if we will. Okay? So that's what that is in that particular regard. That letter hey shows it as stated, brothers and sisters, it's to be the aspect of the lamed hey verb. Now, as we have read here, it says, meaning the hey drops in the past tense and in the infinitive. The infinitive is part of what we were talking about right here, to whatever. Okay? So, are there any questions before we move on? I need to ask, are there any questions regarding the na sa word, or all right? Are there any questions, brothers and sisters? Are there any questions? Okay, Mika doesn't have a question. Is there anybody else who is listening who happens to have a question concerning this? Tuvadia Yehuda also does not have any questions concerning this. Is there anybody else? The reason why I'm asking is because it says, from what I'm able to see, that there's 5 people watching. So I wanted to ask if there's anybody within the sound of the voice currently that happens to have any questions concerning what we went over. The Bakalam, the aspect of what the infinitive is, which is the bakalam itself, the aspect of alamed hey verb. Any questions? Okay, well, we'll move on. Now, what we're looking at right here, brothers and sisters, okay, use the laser part. Yad u. Now we're on the left-hand side of the PowerPoint, okay? So that's what that is with that. No questions, purchase the book. Well, thank you for the advertisement. Okay, let's go on, brothers and sisters. But feel free to ask any questions on the live chat, brothers and sisters, all right? Let's go on. Yad u. The root is yada. The ayin we see shows the word to be a lamed ayin verb. The ayin is the last letter. Just like you see lamed hey verb, the hey is the last letter. All right? The yod, as we see here, which is the first letter that we see here, remember in Hebrews read from right to left, the first letter shows the verb to be a pay yod verb. The yod drops off in when conjugated in the future tense. All right, so I want to just explain what that is in that particular regard. All right, let's look at that. You have the word yada, beginning with the yod. All right, any verb that starts with a yod is treated as a pay yod verb. This is college level Hebrew for those who are interested, all right? And brothers and sisters, this is given for free. Now, I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything of that sort, but do you know how much colleges will charge to sit there and to get this kind of lesson? Okay, let's go on. So now, let's look at this right here, brothers and sisters, right? You have the word, okay, I want to put this in the black. The word yada. Now, this word, brothers and sisters, means, okay, to know. Now, what we're emphasizing on is when you have a yod, okay, I want to highlight the yod in this particular case. This is the yod highlighted, right? Any verb that has a yod as the first letter, yada, yashab, so forth and so on, it is treated as we written within that the pay yod verb. And what happens, brothers and sisters, in that particular case, all right, yada, that becomes in the future tense, for instance. Eda. Now, this word here, Eda, brothers and sisters, means I will know. That's why I'm emphasizing when I state that the yod in this kind of aspect drops within the future tense. There's no yod in this word here. All right, if we're going to show with the highlighter, brothers and sisters, pardon me, yeah, with the laser point, sorry. There is no yod in here. This is a future tense word. Eda, I will know. Teda, you will know when you speak it to a male. Teda also means she will know. As we've gone over in the previous lessons on this channel, the second person masculine singular future tense is the same exact word as the third person feminine singular. Second person masculine is you when speaking to a male. Third person feminine singular is she, whatever. So this is what we want to point out. So the yod drops off there in the pay yod within the future tense. So brothers and sisters, this is how we're going to get into the understanding of this particular aspect. Yad u, brothers and sisters, this is already in the past tense. That's why, brothers and sisters, had not known, or did not know, or had not known, brothers and sisters, is already within the past tense. So now when we look back at this word here, yad u means they knew, literally. The word yad u literally means, all right, means they knew. Okay, so that's what we want to point out in that particular regard. Now, we want to emphasize, brothers and sisters, and I'm going to make this into a different color with the pen, okay? This what we're looking at, wow, okay? Serves, brothers and sisters, all right, as the aspect of the suffix. It means they whatever. Now, this is either masculine or feminine or mixed company. When you're dealing with yad u, they knew, aklu, they ate, yashbu, they sat, panu, they turned. That doesn't identify whether it's masculine or feminine because they can be either all males or all females or a mixture of males and females. So the age also in this case doesn't matter. Hebrew doesn't identify what word you will use based upon age. Your tone of voice, obviously, to somebody old enough to be your grandmother or your granddad would be different. But there is no set aside word for such. All right. So if you say ata to an 80-year-old man, you would say ata to an 8-year-old boy. All right. But that's just something we want to point out in that particular regard. So now, brothers and sisters, looking back at this, yad u, the root is yada, the ayin. This is the ayin that we're seeing right here. Okay. We see shows the word is a lamed ayin verb. The ayin is the last letter. So why do I say, brothers and sisters, that the ayin is the last letter? Is because the ayin is the last letter of this root word. The root word, brothers and sisters, is shown with the yod, the dalet, and the ayin. That wow, okay, I want to sit there and emphasize this in a different color. This wow that we see there, okay, is part of the suffix. This is what we want to do as far as understanding Hebrew identification and how to know a verb. Once you understand, brothers and sisters, the pattern of this kind of thing, it doesn't go outside of its regular pattern. One of the things I disagree with college Hebrew is when they say irregular verbs, because they consider this to be what you call an irregular verb. It's not irregular. If this is your language, there's nothing irregular about it. It is what it is, that kind of thing. You understand? So this is something, brothers and sisters, that we just want to point out and show for edification purposes. Are there any questions concerning this kind of thing, either with the nasa, the aspect of the bakalam, the aspect of yada and yadu? Are there any questions? All right. I'm going to try to find out today how is it that I can get other people to speak into this? Because what I want to do, and it's not to put anybody on the spot, but you hear how I'm speaking, I want to know, okay. I want to know how to sit there and get other people to chime in or be able to talk in this particular thing too. I'm going to find out for the next lesson. And it's like I said, not to put anyone on the spot, but if people are saying, brothers and sisters, that they have no questions, then you should be able to sit there and teach the same lesson, or at least expound upon it, or at least give your 2 cents upon it. You understand? So now I want to, if I could take the time to speak about one of the people in the comment section, Mika. This is a person that has been going over Hebrew with me for over a year. Literally. When I used to do Hebrew classes in the past, I used to give homework assignments and give out the email, and the sister within 2 days would sit there and email me the fact that she did the homework. Now, I want to use that, brothers and sisters, as a catalyst to sit there and have it be known when a person is about something serious and about what they're about, it shows. I went over that in a teaching that I did this past Friday night on Shabbat, because when I was getting into the camp, like I was talking about Hashaba, they used to sit there and say, you could come and, come with the drums and you can, help us, and, we have drumming practice. And I'll be like, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. Mind you, the drumming practices were free. Only thing I had to do was just get to the place. I'll be there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. All right, I'm going to show up. Hey, it's free. All right, I'm going to be there. And now from 1993, brothers and sisters, at first being introduced to drums in like 1986. You understand? In a camp called Kosheri. But no offense intended to Kosheri, Hashaba Yisrael took the drums in Israel where other camps did not. And what I mean as far as doing shows, making albums, doing college performances, and all kinds of stuff. So the point I'm saying is, I'm not with them with that, because when they offered it, I fronted. I disrespected myself by lying. I made myself a liar by saying I will be there and then I not show up. And why wasn't I there? Because I was playing games with Sonic the Hedgehog on Sega Genesis on Sundays and basketball. Yet when it came down to what's referred to as Tuesday, Yom Shalishi, I was there under Kohen Mikael, taking the notes, taking the notes, taking the notes, taking the notes. This is why I'm doing the lessons now. You understand? Because a person who applies themselves to something, you just got to make sure, brothers and sisters, that you're applying yourself to the right thing. Because the Most High will sit there and bless the work of your hands. You understand? But if you're working evil with your hands, the Most High will reward you for such. You understand? Or, as our sister Mika put, do you overstand? Okay. So, brothers and sisters, once it comes down to this, all right, Yad U, from the root word Yada, Lanasot. Now, the people who are responding and saying there's no questions, right? Okay, so let's go on to the next part. Information and book online. This book is available on Amazon.com. This book is available on Lulu.com. If one is interested, one can reach me at kashuput@gmail.com or 908-587-4841. 908-587-4841. Now, this is the book that we're talking about. All right. Hebrew is Easy, Volume 1. Okay. Now, this number here, 908-587-4841, you can either call or text that number. Okay. So, with that, brothers and sisters, giving honor and praise to the creator and the maker of heaven and earth. I want to advertise this on both Amazon and Lulu. Now, I want to emphasize Amazon gives me less money in revenue for this book because you know they're gonna take their cut on their part. Lulu gives me more money for this book, $3 more once it comes down to it. Now on Lulu, brothers and sisters, the book is cheaper for you, the buyer, and I get more in pay. Amazon, the pay you do is more and I get less. So therefore, Amazon, though we use it, is the devil. And I always order on Amazon. You understand? I stay ordering things on Amazon. But the point I'm saying, brothers and sisters, is some people may only feel comfortable with Amazon. So I put the book on Amazon as well. All right. But if you are comfortable with lulu.com, which has no complaints from many people, or really from anyone, when you look up their reviews, I suggest and I ask brothers and sisters to go to lulu.com over amazon.com concerning this book. It can help, not being funny, us both. You pay $1 less, and not to be funny, I get $1 more. Pardon me, $3 more. All right. Okay, somebody said you should have super chat for those who would like to donate. All right. Okay, so we're gonna sit there and get into that particular thing. I have absolutely no issue or conflict or problem with that. All right. So maybe you can sit there and send me a text at my number as far as how it goes to do the super chat kind of thing, because I'm still in the process of still trying to upgrade this YouTube matter. All right. So you have the number there as shown 908-587-4841. And any help that can be given is certainly appreciated. These lessons are free and will remain free. All right. Like Facebook says, it's free and always will be. However, I do advertise the book that I wrote. Okay. So, are there any more questions, comments, or anything of that sort concerning this lesson? Any questions or comments concerning this kind of lesson? All right. Shalom, Hebrew boy. You asked the question earlier, and I got the text, and I don't know if you got the reply back. Hebrew boy, shalom, my brother. I don't know if you got my reply back in the text, but I have to fly back to New York. But with the remaining time, I do want to show an answer to your question. You asked before, you understand, as to whether or not wow itself has a sound. Or pardon me, if there's a W in Hebrew, right? Now I want to answer that question, and I don't know. Oh, you did get the text back? Okay. But let me, for those who might still be listening or wondering, I want to answer the question in this particular regard. All right. Wow. Now, in ancient Hebrew, wow is written as so. Okay. Now, the reason how we know, oh, you didn't get the text back? Okay, so let's deal with this from this point. All right. Thank you for joining us, Hebrew boy. One of the things we want to point out, brothers and sisters, in this regard is you have the letter here, okay? Ugh. W-A-W. I don't like that W right there. Sorry, I can't. I ain't gonna leave that on there. W. Wow. Okay. Wow itself, the word itself means hook. Now, in the book of Exodus, chapter 40, when you read about wawehem, which means their hooks, that particular word right there is spelled as so. Wow. Wow. All right. That word said as the letter wow has also a meaning and definition, and that means hook Hook. So when you read, for instance, about the tabernacle with the tent pins and the curtains, and it says, "In their hooks shall be of brass, and their hooks shall be of silver," and so forth and so on, right? You read that in that particular regard of, in the word wow. Okay. So now, brothers and sisters, this is also used as the vowel holder for the konam and the shuruk. And brothers and sisters, whether you say shalom, all right, spelled as this, shalom, right? You can have the same word shalom, brothers and sisters, and I want to show this without the wow. So even though you can spell shalom with Shin Lamed Mem Sofit or Shin Lamed Mem, because as we say, ancient Hebrew had no Sofit. But the point we're getting back into, I want to address this. There is a person in the book of Numbers, right? With the name here. This is in Numbers 13. Waf Si. When you go in Numbers 13, right? That was one of the men from the tribe of Naphtali that was sent as one of the spies, or the father of one of the spies to the land, right? His name, either he was the actual person or the father of it, but of the father of the person. But it's spelled in Hebrew as so. Waf. Okay, that ain't gonna work with that part. C. I was trying to actually get a shawa underneath that, but that ain't gonna work. So I'm gonna have to rewrite that particular part again. All right, bear with me. Sorry about that. Wasi. Now, many times you will find Israelites saying that this letter here, wow, in ancient Hebrew here, wow, has no sound to it by itself. Many people have said that online. But if such is the case, how would we say hook? If this is just as many say, just the oo sound, there are Israelites who say that this letter here, okay, wow, in ancient Hebrew shown as so, wow, okay, if that only made the oo sound like many Israelites do say, how then do we say the Hebrew word for hook? How then, brothers and sisters, do we say, brothers and sisters, the Hebrew word, their hooks? How then, brothers and sisters, do we say the word for and? Because wah by itself means and. You understand? So we have to understand, brothers and sisters, that there is absolutely no V sound. V, as in they say Avi, that really is not the ancient Hebrew as close as possible. Okay? So V as a letter doesn't exist. Whereas W does exist. All right. So I hopefully that was able to answer the question that certain things has to exist in a language as far as the W sound, because that, brothers and sisters, is how you're going to get the word for hook and the word for and. While wait here, and their hooks. You understand? That particular word itself has three different vowels. All right. I want to spell that out before I have to leave. All right. While wait here. Wah. No, that has two vowels. Sorry. Not three. All right. Wawehim. Wawehim. They're hooks. So wa by itself means and. Wa'ahot, and a sister. So hopefully that was able to answer the question. If you didn't get the text, I'm going to see what's going on with the phone or whatever. But I had text back, and I do appreciate the fact that you and as well as everyone else took the time. And with the little bit remaining time I have, I want to talk to the brothers and sisters and elders in here. It means a lot. Yeah, we already spoke about the vowel points, and at that point, I really can't discuss this no more concerning the vowel points. But as far as it goes with the W sound, that did exist in Hebrew. We already spoke in regards with the vowel points. But I want to take the time out now in regards to a situation which is not bad. But the people who subscribe to the channel, share the videos, like the videos, watch the videos, comment when the videos are uploaded, I definitely respect you all for that. You understand? And it's very, very important if a person is regarded as running his or her channel. You understand? That you respect your audience. Respect your audience. If they respect you enough to be seeing you in the light of being an instructor, a teacher, a guide, you understand? Don't treat them like garbage. Don't treat them as if you, as a said instructor or as a said reference. Because there are times when people call me like, how would you say this? What's going on with the language with that? So a person then is seen as a reference upon something. You have to respect them who respect you. You understand? So this is something we want to point out for edification purposes. You just don't treat them if you are a said instructor in something as if you have the feeling and the spirit of quote entitlement. You understand? Like you're supposed to. I don't have to listen to your channel. There's a lot of channels out there. And by the way, I am not the only Hebrew teacher that teaches the Hebrew like this online. There's a sister named Tahila Bendan. She does it. There's a brother in Virginia that does it. I'm not the only Hebrew teacher that you see online with live lessons, if you understand. So the point I'm saying is, if people take out their personal time on a quote unquote Sunday, respect that. You understand? If they respect you and call you Moray, teacher, and all of this, you don't sit there and get the spirit of entitlement like that. This is why the Most High, and I'm not trying to put words in the Most High's mouth, the king of Israel is supposed to write out a copy of the law. It says so his heart won't be lifted over his brethren, not over his subjects, not over his servants, not even over his people, but it says as his over his brethren. So understand what that is. In the eyes of the Most High, the king writing out a copy of the law is so that way he can maintain some kind of humility and understanding. He writes out a copy of the law. So you can put it right there on your doorpost and have to keep on looking at it. Great king. By the way, the word for king in Hebrew, can anybody type it inside the chat? Who knows the Hebrew word for king? K-I-N-G in Hebrew is what? Anybody know? Okay. The Hebrew word for king is the word in Hebrew, melech. Now I want to explain what I'm just looking at right here. The word malak is a verb. All right. Malak is a verb meaning to reign. Something tells me I know Suvadia from somewhere else, but that's all blessed, my brother or sister. Suvadia, you're a brother or sister. I think you're a brother if I remember right. All right. Malak is a verb meaning to reign. So malakti means I reigned. Imluk means I will reign. You might hear sometimes in a song that the Camp Hashaba had called Hayahiyeh. It says Yah Yimlok Le Olam Wa'ed, which means the Most High, He will reign forever and ever. All right, so I just wanted to point that out for edification purposes. All right. Now, Malak, as stated, means to reign, but a king, the actual person, brothers and sisters, is the word Melech. Okay, so this is what we just want to point out, brothers and sisters, in that particular regard. All right. So, as you can see, the Hebrew verbs and its nouns do have a similar sounding aspect. Now, I want to take the time out one more time, all right, and spell that. Y'all got 2 minutes, all right? You have Melech, king, all right? And it true as went over before the word Malak, all right, which means to reign. Okay, so that's just something I want to point out in that particular regard. The other thing to point out is that this word Melech, when you prefix this with a noon, all right, I'm gonna just make that part bigger. Nimlek or Nimlak, that means to give counsel. So what am I saying, brothers and sisters? In Hebrew, a king, one who reigns, is also one who gives counsel. So when brothers say, "What's up, king? What's up, king?" that's not really a bad thing. We didn't have, per se, in Israel, certainly on a human level, a king like you might think king of England or king of Egypt or anything of that sort. The king is, as the law points out, one of your brethren, because he has to write out a copy of the law so his heart won't be over his brethren. With that, I say shalom, giving honor and praise to the creator of heaven and earth.